You too.
Oh. How you doing?
You too. Welcome back to another reaction, man. You see my twin with me.
We here.
With another reaction, you know, I'm coming back to back. Consistency is key.
Consistent reacts.
Consistent reacts.
Facts.
But we got what did scientists really see in the Mariana Trench? Let's get into this thing, man.
Who can touch the bottom? Such a phrase can often be heard among our children frolicking on the shores of rivers or playing on the coasts of our seas and oceans. However, childhood passes, and as certain of us grow into adulthood,
I thought he
we
had no
aim
head.
for more ambitious.
Look how you came through that door right quick. Hold on. I swear I thought he had no head.
And as certain of us grow into adulthood,
Whoa,
we aim
he
for
did
more
get
ambitious goals. Some
I
to
was
conquer
like,
the
what?
highest
He
peaks
came
of
in
the
there
globe,
for
while
real,
others seek
no
to
head.
plumb
I'm like,
the
what?
farthest
What the
depths,
heck?
to
Like a
literally
mermaid.
touch the bottom of our Earth's waters
What the
in
heck?
places where neither human nor
See, I
other
could
living
swim
beings
like
can
that,
exist,
but not on my
except,
back.
of course, for some
You feel me?
unassuming bacteria.
Like I can swim how they was floating like that, like how they was
Oh, you was talking about how they was swimming. Okay.
No, I was talking about how they was on the back. I already know how they was swimming.
Oh, no. I was talking about the girl. I was talking about, I don't know how people go down places like that.
Oh yeah, I was talking about how I don't know how they
like
do that jump backwards. Cause I couldn't
Okay.
do that jump.
I was confused. I was like, you gonna go all the way down there on your back? What's wrong with you? I'm not going down there at all.
Nah. I mean, how they do that backwards? Cause I can only do that jump forwards. Well, like on my stomach, I guess you could say.
Feet below sea level. The first daredevils who dared to dive to these dangerous depths were the Swiss engineer Jacques Picard and the U.S. Navy.
Hold on, most of my body is mainly leg, I tell you, bro. So it's not that much moving right here. It don't matter. So I'm just moving basically legs. It's easy. Perfect, good swimmer. You know it. I was gonna say don't blow it, but we about to blow down. Shit.
About to blow down.
Lieutenant Don Welch. On January 23rd, 1960, in the Bathyscaphe, Trieste, these fearless men descended to the very bottom of the world ocean. The researchers were absolutely confident that they would see no life at a depth of more than 10 kilometers. And really, what kind of living creature could withstand such extraordinary pressures, exceeding our own everyday atmospheric pressure by 1,072 times? Any organism we can imagine would simply be squashed, crushed, ripped and smashed into smithereens under such a pressure created by the billions of tons of water above. However, during the expedition, the scientists began to reassess their disbelief. After having spent almost 5 hours continuously diving, Jacques Picard and Don Welch spent just 20 minutes at the bottom. It's understandable that they were overcome with feelings of a wild, primitive fear, which made them pray for the help of their colleagues on the surface. What could
Back into, uncut. Gotta pay some bills.
frighten such experience?
Question.
Yeah, we get ads.
Would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million users using Wix?
Researchers who have lived through so many real dangers in their lives. The first thing that tickled the nerves of these men in the Bathyscaphe were strange, eerie sounds, reminiscent of the gnashing and grinding of metal on metal. Was it possible that someone else was diving at the same time? But the conquerors of the depths had no wish to make guesses. To dispel doubts, they directed their gaze to the monitor for their echo sounder, a kind of sonar device. The sight caused even more horror. On the device, there were gigantic shadows, reminiscent of some mythical three-headed creatures, something like dragons. However, this could be attributed to the scientists' fatigue, as they were under such extreme conditions. It could easily be just their imagination. However, once back on the surface, something made the hearts of these amazing aquanauts pop out of their chests from fear. The huge steel Bathyscaphe, with its 13-centimeter or 5-inch thick walls, was crumpled like a ping-pong ball, and a heavy-duty 20-centimeter or 8-inch diameter cable was cut in half. Just imagine what kind of a creature could be capable of rendering such damage. So, what caused this bizarre incident, and why was such a strange occurrence kept from the public for 36 years? Only later, in 1996, did the New York Times finally publish a story about the shocking event. Maybe the scientists in the U.S. Navy have been hiding something important from us all of these years. Or did a serious, authoritative publication suddenly decide to hype up a fictitious story to sell newspapers? It hardly seems possible. And believe it or not, there's another confirmation of the presence of a mysterious creature in the deepest part of our world ocean. German researchers lowered the bathyscaphe hayfish to the bottom of the Mariana Trench on a mission to observe the inhabitants of the Challenger Abyss. What they saw shocked the entire team. On their monitors, scientists saw a gargantuan, monstrous lizard creature. Frightened, they turned on their so-called electric gun, which electrifies the area outside the craft. Thankfully, this made the frightened monster swim away. But we must ask, who or what is this mysterious inhabitant of the sea depths? And
if that's anything that they're talking about that big, we're dead. Any tsunamis come and it's riding in that whatever city y'all in, gotta go.
100%.
Gotta go.
100%.
Cause that was way too big. And then look at this. My man's is about to get snatched up.
Danger is it to us?
See you
While
next
you're
week.
writing your assumptions in the comments,
That whole thing might just pull down that helicopter. Unless that string, if that string's not that strong and it can easily be snapped, then y'all good. But if it's strong like that, oh, y'all getting dragged.
If that cord doesn't hit his tooth and he's just pulling on it, you're done.
Facts.
If he doesn't cut that in half,
because then he just going
yank y'all down too and go right in the water.
And he just gonna take that whole thing.
to us. While you're writing your assumptions in the comments, let's go 48 years earlier, long before the first expedition. In 1918, Australian lobster catchers claimed that they had repeatedly seen a giant...
How was that? 40? Hold on. When was this made? 2018, 48 years. How was that? 40, 48. 1918?
1918?
That's what he said 48 years ago. Why that be?
Wait, what is he? What he said 48 years ago? What?
It's 1918 from now. He said, let's go back 48 years ago, 1918. When it's 28. When he made this in 2018. Isn't that 100 years ago?
I am smacked.
fish-like creature more than 30 meters or 100 feet long. According to all of their descriptions, the monster resembled a shark weighing approximately 100 tons, equipped with huge...
Wait, what? What was it saying about a shark?
Earlier, long before the first expedition, in 1918, Australian lobster catchers claimed that they had repeatedly seen a giant fish-like creature more than 30 meters or 100 feet long. According to all of their descriptions, the monster resembled a shark weighing approximately 100 tons, equipped with huge 2-meter or 6.5-foot jaws, and with 10-centimeter or
6.5-foot jaws. That's basically your height. You are a jaw. Your height is a jaw. What?
100 feet.
Your height is a jaw. No. That's clobbering anybody.
Even Blunt said no. He's not even feeling it.
That's crazy.
4-inch-long teeth. This could be nothing other than Megalodon, a giant shark thought to be extinct, which inhabited the waters of the world ocean more than 2 million years ago. This monster is larger than any marine creature that has ever existed. So, is a miracle animal just hiding in the watery depths and just biding its time? Why not? After all, during the entire study
just figure out if he ever wants to pop up how to kill that.
Numerous oddities have been revealed. Just look at the local amoebas, for example, the simplest single-celled animals. Many of us, often from grammar school lessons in biology, have learned that these minuscule representatives of the wild kingdom can be seen only with the help of a microscope. But not at the deepest point of our world ocean. Amoeba here can reach an amazing 10 centimeters or 4 inches in size, the same as the size of Megalodon's tooth. Not to mention that there are 1.5 meter or 5 foot long worms and bizarre mutant octopuses. It seems that the deeper we manage to take pictures of living creatures on our Earth, the more bizarre the forms they exhibit.
How deep can this world go down? And how many more creatures are gonna pop up the more people go? I bet you like 1,000 years from now, say, because I don't know, you don't know what's gonna happen in 1,000 years. This whole Earth could blow tomorrow. Who knows? Yeah. So say in 1,000 years, you're still spending all this stuff, everything's still good, and technology just is great, like maximum, and they go down probably like 100,000 miles or something like that, some crazy something, and they find some big old 10,000 foot weird creature. I'm gonna be like, bro, what do you do about that if it starts wanting to rise itself? Like, you, like, bro, like, I don't understand. Like, I don't want to discover that. How? That's just some crazy theory, you know, to get this fucked.
In addition, the bottom of the Mariana Trench contains another inexplicable mystery. Mammoth stone bridges discovered there that are as long as 69 kilometers and look as if they are designed by man. Is this proof that Atlantis, which, according to myths, disappeared beneath the water, actually existed?
Yeah.
Alas, no. The real explanation is more than trivial.
Or what if there's like mermaids building stuff down there and they can actually survive down there? What if that's just like the everyday life all the way down there? That's wild. That would be wild crazy if they all the way down there. Just living. Or like they might be deeper than that. Maybe that's just stuff that floated up or something. They just went down. Or maybe that's stuff they left and they had to go deeper or something like that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's crazy to really think. There's some crazy stuff in this world that we don't know nothing about.
Wow.
People probably know a bunch of stuff and not gonna say nothing.
It's all about the collision of the Pacific and Philippine tectonic plates. As a result, researchers of the sea depths receive great pleasure observing this amazing phenomenon. But this is not the only thing the giant crevice in the ocean bottom can impress us with. If you previously doubted whether there's life at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, it is now known that the Challenger Abyss is filled with life itself, or rather, what remains of it. The fact is that under normal conditions, the seabed is not that interesting. But in the case of the Challenger Deep, it is covered with a massive layer of corpses as the remains of once living organisms roll down to the deepest place on Earth. On the way to the abyss, dead fish and mollusks pass perhaps what is the most interesting feature of the deep sea landscape, an analog of which can be found only on one of our satellites of Jupiter, Io. It's a lake of pure molten sulfur, heated by the underwater volcano called Daikoku. Yes, this bloody hollow is a true hell on Earth. In describing the 9 circles of hell, Dante might have been representing this place. On the way to the bottom, you first pass the giant reptiles and single-celled creatures. Then one finds oneself in the sulfur fires of Gehenna. Then finally one comes to rest and begins to decompose in a massive layer of dead sea life. As to the existence of giant reptilian monsters or megalodons, James Cameron does not support this point of view. And his opinion is quite influential, as the director who gave the wonderful film Titanic to the women of the world and Terminator to the men. He is the third and so far latest researcher.
This is so interesting and informational. I'm not gonna lie.
To reach the bottom of the Mariana Trench. In the Challenger Deep, James spent much more time than his predecessors, almost 3 hours. Unfortunately, he did not find any super creatures during his time, but he did manage to film enough material for a couple of documentary films, with enough left over to write in Twitter. So if Cameron disappointed with the absence of monsters found in the Mariana Trench, and your assumptions about their existence are already written in the comments, here is more food for thought. Why does one need to explore this place that has been visited by only 3 people, in addition to several deep-sea diving vessels? In fact, studying this mysterious place has saved everyone from bathing in radioactive water. The truth is,
good. But honestly, they still said we only explored like what 1% of our waters. And only 3 of y'all been down there. Heck yeah, people want to keep going.
Right.
Yeah, not even 10 people been down there. Not even
People
5.
need to keep going.
For real. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one of those people. Cause I'm not gonna lie. I'm not that interested. Now, you see what I'm doing? I'm reacting. Y'all keep, but I thank y'all. Everybody that does that, thank y'all every day. Cause that's why I'm surviving and getting the food I need and all that. You feel me? So I think that you see me eating beef jerky.
Right here without y'all.
Facts, no cap. But let's continue this.
earlier last century, human beings planned to bury nuclear waste at the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, believing that the water there was in a state of eternal stagnation. And so all the nuclear waste produced on Earth could be stored there for millions of years. However, studies have shown that even at the bottom of the trench, the currents are so strong that every corner of the world ocean would have been contaminated with uranium, plutonium, and other radioactive elements if such a plan had been put into effect. Interestingly, when scientists were measuring underwater currents in the Challenger Deep, they found an unremarkably average and most common supermarket plastic bag. I would like to believe that it was lost by an inhabitant of Atlantis on his way to his local supermarket. But in fact, this once again proves how polluted the world ocean has become, and that every abandoned piece of garbage tossed in the water can find its way to almost any point on the globe. Perhaps then it wasn't bizarre monsters, but the scale of ocean pollution that actually threatened all the previous expeditions.
Maybe. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, that could be facts, because people always throwing stuff in sewers, or flushing stuff, or throwing stuff in the ocean, or when stuff fall in the street and they get washed up in the sewers, that goes in the ocean. It's crazy. But hey, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, man. You already know. And we out this thing.
We out.
Gang.